As I like to do every week, we like to take a look at the past week's market activity and then, of course, bounce around the market and look for something to trade. This will be our final trade of the year. So happy holidays, everybody. Hope you have a great holiday season and new year. So let's take a look at the market and we'll make our final trade. So this is where we always start. When we look at the market, this is really the most important stock, I believe, in the market. SPY, which is the S&P 500. As you can see, over the last few weeks, it's kind of been all over the place, but essentially it's been staying kind of in this range. Volatility, as of the last couple of days of the week, took a dive, but you can see it was pretty volatile for a little while, and then the last day on Friday it just shot up to the moon. So we'll see how that progresses moving forward, but this is kind of the overall picture of the market. This is S&P 500. Next stop is always the NASDAQ, which is the QQQ ETF. This is all the tech stocks. Again, it's always going to be a pretty similar story. Pretty much looks the same. We made a trade in here last week, so that one's out of the way. And then finally, the Russell, which has actually been a bit more of a ahead of the game than the other ones. It's pretty closer to it's a little bit closer to its highest than the rest of the other two, but also probably in this range of the last few weeks. But you can see it's been on kind of more of a burner. It went on much more of a hot streak than the other ones. So what are we going to do as our final trade for the year? Well, I always like to have trades on in all the indices at all times. So since we don't have one on in the biggest and most important index of all, which is the SPY, we're going to end the year by putting on one of these trades. So if I go to the trade page, you can see there's really two choices for us. There's the 40-day, which will be 39 tomorrow, and this one, which is 61, which is normally out of our range, but tomorrow it'll be 60, which is in our range. So I'm doing more of a long-term one on this one. I want to hang on to this thing for a while. I think the market could be pretty volatile over the next few weeks, over the course of January. So you can see this one expires in mid-February. 20th of February is when, sorry, 20th of February is when this is going to expire. So it gives me a lot of time to be right, to give myself a range. So that's what I'm going to do. So I've already set this one up for us. And basically here we are. The stock price is 680. So we're going $30 up on the call side. We're going $30 down on the put side. The strikes are $5 wide, so I can't do a $2 wide iron condor. I'm forced to do a $5 wide, which is fine. All that has to happen is I have to change what's the number I need to hit to make this a valid trade. Well, remember, my minimum is 33 cents for $1 in width. This is going to be a $5 width trade, which means I have to get at least $1.65 or more for this to be a valid trade. And it is, right? We're at 177. Perfect. So, assuming everything stays the same, we're going to go out to the 60-day, which will be tomorrow, 60 days in the SPY, put on a trade that's going to get us all the way through near the end of February to give us time for that thing to do its crazy ride, which is, who knows what's going to happen, but generally speaking, this could be a pretty volatile time of year, end of year to the new year. So I want to give myself more time in this one. 60 days, it's $5 wide. We're collecting at least $1.65 or more. So that is our final trade for the year, setting us up for 2026. We're going to end off by doing a SPY Iron Condor. Again, happy holidays to everybody, happy new year, and we will see you in 2026. Hello everybody, just a quick break in action here to make you all aware of the courses I have available on Udemy, which are these 5, but more importantly to let you know that these 3 right here are a 3-part series. So if you're anywhere in the mix here, now you know that Understand Options Completely is part 1, Basic Option Strategies is part 2, and Make and Manage is part 3. So you can start or continue at any level you like. The bottom 2 here can be taken at any time. They are just independent courses. If they interest you, please go ahead and take them. So you've got some knowledge now, and we know knowledge is power. But really, knowledge is only power if you use it. Otherwise, it's useless. So how do you take all this option trading knowledge and turn it into actual income? And the only way to do that is by actually trading options. As someone that's gone through the process, I know that making real trades is scary for many reasons, not the least of which is, where do I even start? I mean, there's so many roadblocks to making trades. What stock should I trade? What direction should I choose? Which options am I buying or selling? The list seems endless, which is exactly why I created my option income alert system. So don't you think you'd be a little bit more comfortable and confident if I was right there by your side making trades with you? Where now I will be there with my real-time alerts. You'll trade side by side with me in real time as I tell you what trade to make, why we're making the trade, and more importantly, how to make the trade correctly. But making the trade is only half the battle. When to close the trade is just as important, so you'll get those closing alerts as well. Listen, you've got the knowledge now, so let's put it to use. So how do we turn your knowledge into actual income with as little risk as possible? Well, the way we do that is by offering up the option alert for only $1 for the first month. Now, the option alert itself is going to send out 2 to 3 trades in real time as I make them via text or email directly to you. And as I close these trades, you'll also get those closing alerts in real time as well. Now, if you want an even better opportunity, the Option Pro, which is the exact same alert service as the Option Income, offers up all the content I've ever made, courses, webinars, etc. Over $2,000 worth of options courses for only $19 for the first month. So the way we're going to sign up for either of these is by going to sharpertrades.com, clicking on the products section. Both of these alerts will show up. Depending on which one you prefer, you'll type in these coupon codes and you'll either get the option alert for $1 for the first month or the Option Pro for only $19 for the first month. Look forward to seeing you all over there soon. Take care.